Interesting. Somebody just posted a picture of the mainland right now in North Delta, probably 40, maybe 50 kilometers away from our islands, and snowing to beat the band there. Looks like winter wonderland. We're sitting around mid-December right now. We got 40 degrees Fahrenheit here, so it's about 5.2 degrees Celsius, something like that. It is raining, and definitely don't feel like snow. Too mild for snow. But it just goes to show you don't have to go very far from inland from the coast, and the weather can change. And that's the way it is here on Salt Spring Island. So when I was driving home this morning from town, and it's just afternoon right now, it's just after lunch, there were wet flakes mixed with snow at some of the higher points when I was driving from town to here, which is about 11-kilometer drive. So here you can see it's looking like this. We still haven't had any frost. There's some fuchsia flowers here. Not a lot of them at this time. Some up in there. And then you can see the jasmine still green. And got some fatsias blooming. And it doesn't mean we can't get snow. It's just that right now the temperature is a lot milder than surrounding areas. And I'll tell you what makes a good microclimate. Living close to a huge body of water. So we're right across the street from the ocean on the very north end of Salt Spring Island, which is a very narrow strip of land. So ocean is nearby on either side of us. And elevation too. If you're down in a low valley, you're going to get a lot more frost in the cooler months, but it's going to heat up more in the summer. If you're up on top of a mountain, or maybe not so high, sometimes you can get an inversion. It can actually be milder up there than down below, where all your cold air is spilling down into the valley floor, into the frost hollow. But if you live by a massive lake, large body of water, or on a slope, gardening on a slope is probably one of the best things if you want an exotic garden in this climate. Now, actually, it looks like it's trying to clear up. So when you're gardening on a slope, preferably your house is at the top of the slope, your garden's on the top of the slope, or at partway down the slope. It stretches from the top to partway down, and all that cold air can drain down the slope into, well, what we have is a deep ravine, and we're on the top of a hill, aren't we? We're on the top of a knoll. So this is what it looks like. So there's a deep ravine down there. And because you're on a slope, cold air is like water, and it will roll down. So it actually gets a little bit cooler down there. I record cooler temperatures in that weather station, that Stevenson screen. There's a remote sensor in there and a glass thermometer than our upper Stevenson screen. And we also have a thermometer down there, remote sensor down at the pump house too. But definitely colder temperatures down there than up on top. So the cold air is rolling from the top of the slope down and settling down into that deep ravine where the bamboo is. And there's a lot of swampsonii, which I call swampsonii, Trachycarpus fortunei, palms that grow into the wet creek. Well, they're growing along the creek, and it's saturated right through the wintertime. So our whole property is on a slope. So the palm nursery is down there, and it goes down to the palm nursery. And hopefully my camera chip is going to allow me to shoot a little bit longer video here for you guys. There's Santa, there's Kahoo, and there's Frosty. And then, we got lots of bamboo in here. There's a lot of, you can grow your more tender plants at the top of the slope, and the more marginal plants, the more hardy plants at the bottom of the slope, right? So that's the way it works. So up here, we have a lot of palms, there's cactus, this and that. There's hardy bromeliads there. And you can see it slopes down. We're walking down through the exotic garden. So the cold air drains down through here and just keeps on rolling down. But if you have a fence or something, it will actually block it. So always make sure there's an opening so your cold air can just flow right through, and you can really easily create a tropical looking garden, tropical like garden, even though these plants aren't really tropical. There's abutilon blooming here, and we haven't had any frost yet, so we're mid-December, and like it just keeps going down the whole thing. Even the road, we're on the top of the knoll, on the top of the hill, and it just goes right down. It's a hill here. So it's a perfect microclimate, and I picked this place specifically because of the perfect microclimate. I moved here to garden exotic plants. Okay, and I've been growing them on Salt Spring since 1989. I've been growing them at this particular spot for around 3 decades now. And like I say, my mom and dad bought here in the 1970s, 1978. Moved here when I was in my 20s. Now we're getting close to 60. I'm 57, and no looking back. So that's a little bit of information about microclimates, and you can see our garden, it does look the same year round. All right, it's 365 days of the year. It is going to look nice and green and tropical alike, even though it's not tropical. But you can, by choosing the right plants that are hardy for your growing zone, and this is a northern zone 9A, you can have a pretty cool looking garden, and you can look out any of your windows, and it makes you feel a little bit warmer on a winter day. All right, guys? Anyway, try that. Look into your microclimates. Do a little homework, because you don't have to go far in this island to see a change in temperature and even sometimes weather. Just because we're on a small island, it's about 17 miles long, it doesn't mean it's the same temperature and climate all over the island, okay? People don't realize that. They know nothing about climate, temperatures, weather systems, and microclimates. So do your homework if you want to start growing plants like this and create a tropical-like garden, okay? And like I say, there's no challenge to it whatsoever. Anybody can do this. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos here on this channel. And my other channel too, Jungle Joe C. Cheers. From Salt Spring Island in the Southern Gulf Islands of Canada in mid-December.